What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another Ranger Talk episode. Got a really cool one here for y'all. I'm talking to none other than the rock and metal folks over at the Unofficial Utopia. It's Roger and Scorcher. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, everything is fine. Um, Pretty much trying to keep it heavy, keeping everything, putting the metal attitude into everything that we do in our daily lives, and that's it.
Also, let's not forget the day job thing. Like, I would like to put a strong emphasis on that. It's hectic, especially with
Yeah.
the
Yeah, no, it's brutal trying to fit in what you like to do, amidst, working to keep a roof over your head, right?
Absolutely.
I was
A
actually
working
at,
class hero is something to be, right?
I was actually at the office when he called me, and I was like, "Oh shit, I need to rush back." I took a tram, and I came back. Okay, I have to interview. Like, I have to be present here.
That's awesome. So it's like you got to tell your coworkers and stuff, hey, I got an interview to go to, for my band. So peace out. Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys.
that's kind of cool, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. So yeah, I guess first and foremost, would you each mind introducing yourself and letting everyone know what your role is in the band?
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm Roger Strings. I'm the vocalist of the band, um, songwriter, composer. Uh, Up to you, Scorcher. He's the guitarist.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Basically, I don't know who's watching, but I hope everyone does. So I'm Scorcher, and I take care of the guitar duties. I'm the axeman there. We have other members as well. I wish they join. Yeah. I am also a part of the songwriting, but mostly it's Roger. So yeah.
We divided equally, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah.
Cool. That's a cool way to do it. That way you collaborate and, one person wants to, contribute something. It's like, oh yeah, cool. I didn't think about that. Let's do that. Or, things like that.
I mean, ideas can,
Yeah. Yeah.
take birth in anybody's mind, right? So yeah.
So how did the band originally form up? How did you guys meet and say, hey, let's make this band with this style. Let's do this. How did that happen?
I'm pretty sure before we cross paths with each other, I think we have our own stories regarding how we ended up in this band. Okay, my story would be me and Sorcerer, our other guitarist. We used to dream of forming a band, when we were in school, and we were thinking about, we'll form a band someday. We'll play rock and roll and heavy metal at a point in our lives, and eventually we were not able to find any like-minded musicians, anybody who wanted to do this. But years passed, then I was in university, and suddenly, I mean, this is my part of the story, to be honest. So um, suddenly it was freshers audition. All the new batch came in, and people were um, trying to give their auditions for the cultural things that happen. So uh, people were coming in. They were singing pop songs. Either they were doing drama, or they were doing a lot of things basically. So
Mhm.
I was there, but I was not really interested. So I was just sitting in the corner of the room, and suddenly I see this little guy. He comes up in front with the washbone guitar, and I was like, what's he gonna do? He's gonna sing the same three chorded songs with an electric guitar now. So
Yeah.
I I wasn't even expecting anything. So I was just looking, and suddenly this guy, he starts playing Eruption. I was like, whoa, somebody's playing Eddie Van Halen over here. And that's
Wow.
that's basically how I met Scorcher. And after his audition was over, I called him. I said that, I was thinking about forming a band for a couple of years now. So would you like to, be a part of it? And he agreed. And that's how we came into coexisting together.
That's awesome.
And
So
yeah, now Scorcher is part of the story. I'm pretty sure he has his own part of the story.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like the part where Roger mentioned how we met. Before that, like, see, everyone has their own influences. So when I at the point of my life when I started playing guitar, I was pretty much carried away by the same things that my friends and like the children of our generation were doing. So I don't know, like I guess I was in eighth or ninth standard when one of my friends like made me listen to a band called Green Day. You know, like we are from Kolkata, so like we were listening to all these commercial form of music, something like Bollywood. Everything is very, like rule and all things based and all. So, like after listening to bands like Green Day, I was like taken aback. So from that point, listening to Green Day and Linkin Park, though the sound is completely different from what we do today, like that is a totally different sound, that acted as a gateway, and I think it acts as a gateway for a lot of people who start into this genre. So like from then on, I wanted to like I want to learn. So back in the days, I was like picking up guitar and playing those Billy Joe Armstrong songs, strumming the guitar, and I felt like a guitar hero. I also remember I used to play that game, Rocksmith. If you've heard the name, there's a game. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rocksmith. So that acted as a teacher itself. So you had tab sheets coming in front of you, and you have guitar. There is no game pad or joystick or something. The guitar itself is the controller. You need to play the notes. So it acted as like really. And then suddenly I was like, my one of my friends who were listening to music and all, everybody be like, "Hey, have you checked out Slash? Have you checked out Michelangelo Biscio from the band Nitro? And you know the keys to the Lamborghini and stuff." So everything like that, I wanted to learn all this. So eventually, I didn't even realize that I was into old school music. The era of the like 80s, leather, denim,
Mhm.
everything. I listen to a lot of music, but like none of that actually catches out to me or reaches out to me in a way which this old school symphony does. Okay. And by symphony, I mean like it is really close to my heart actually. So yeah, I always wanted to form a band. I have been doing shows, I have been in other bands as well, but I couldn't, feel connected until the day I met this guy in my college. I also didn't have any thought. I thought, what will happen? I'll go to college, I'll face some seniors, they'll be like, "Hey, will you play? We'll play some Bollywood songs and stuff." There's nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with Bollywood songs. I am like, okay, but I don't listen to it. I'm being honest here. So yeah, but then meeting this guy and writing our first song, times change really. And then from that to writing songs together and making the first album, that's my journey, I would say.
That's so cool. Yeah, I
Absolutely.
mean, yeah, every region has like their own kind of music that most people, it is what's common that they listen to, and so you don't always hear a lot of the other different styles that are around, because it's the focus is like this one style. So where are you guys from, to ask? And I know you said that Bollywood music is really big, so is the heavy metal scene very small where you're at?
Should I answer
Uh,
this question or will
yeah,
you take?
go ahead. Go on. Since you are closer to the
Okay, let's.
Bollywood industry, go on.
Hey, don't do my leg like that. Okay, no. Let's do one thing. You speak half of it. I'll take care of the rest.
Right. So, you see, we're basically from the eastern part of India. It's
Okay.
called Kolkata. Right now we are scattered around. Like Scorcher is at Bangalore. He's literally like thousand kilometers away from us, I
Not
guess.
even 1,000, 3,000 kilometers. What
Three
about the rest?
thousand kilometers.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, it's 3,000 kilometers. So yeah, he's over there. Sabbath six. I'm guessing that's Swaroop. All right. So he's the guy with whom we were daydreaming of forming a band in the beginning.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's sorcerer. He's sorcerer.
that's our other guitarist, and Bollywood music, I mean, every place has their own, whatever the industry feeds you, to be very honest. Whatever the industry, the television, whatever it feeds you. So
Mhm.
I think every country, every place has that. And heavy metal has always been a genre of the outcast. Except for the 80s. I mean, that was really big. The 80s, it was pop music, to be honest. But
Really?
right,
Wow.
yeah. In the 80s, it was pop music. No, I mean, throughout the world, you see bands like,
Oh, right.
Twisted Sisters and the
Oh
glam
yeah.
rock explosion
Glam.
and
Yeah. Oh
everything.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we came in touch with heavy metal a lot later, because we didn't have internet back in the days, but eventually we used to get a very few records that were sold over here. But then again, it was very few. It was very few.
Mm.
It was not that much accessible to the common people. So yeah, it was like that. And yeah, Since the Bollywood industry, the hub of the Bollywood industry is very close to where Scorcher is staying right now.
Hey, it's
So I
not
would
like the Bollywood industry is in Mumbai. What are you saying? I'm in Karnataka.
Mumbai is, yeah, it's closer to you, no?
Oh, oops.
So yeah, go ahead. Tell us about
So,
it.
okay, so it's like it's not like that actually. I don't want to say anything. The basic point is, if you look at movies, I don't know if you have ever watched any Bollywood movie or not. The point is, over here, people are more driven towards, some sort of entertainment which I don't feel I'm connected to anymore. Because if a movie's length, just for example, going out of the box, like a length of a movie, if it's like, let's say 1 hour movie, which can be done in an hour. I know if it's a Hollywood movie or it's a movie which is like directed elsewhere, the movie can get over in like 1 hour, right? And they will have a song probably put up during the outro or during the intro. But here it's like the story probably skipping aside songs like that. So everybody is like more into movies because of songs and all. And these songs, I have nothing against them. I really love Bollywood music. But the thing is, like, people are so inclined towards that kind of music these days that people like us who are actually like, to me, it's like, hey, dude, I want a guitar. I want to like put on my spandex and leather belts and I want that era back. Bring back Judas Priest in India. Come on, bring back. Everybody knows that. But
Yeah.
nobody actually takes the risk. Okay. So it's like that. So even in my like childhood days as well, when I could see people forming bands, even in our college, if I would say, people were mostly into, like doing music, something like let's cover that song. But me as a person, I believe Roger as well, and any artist, the vision should be like, if I'm an artist today, I should have a vision that I'm trying to, okay, I'm learning a song. Let's say I'm learning Leonard Skinner, Sweet Home Alabama today. But the point should not be once I've learned it, I need to grow on from it. I shouldn't be always like, hey, I'm up to play Sweet Home Alabama. I should try to create something which might like sound similar, give the same vibe, so that I'm an artist at the end of the day. It should be my own product, which I should be making and I should be letting that out to people so that if I am recognized someday, I hope, I don't know what will happen, but it should be because of my own work. So that's, but people don't want to take that risk these days. And but times are changing. Definitely, people are doing much better, I believe, and people are so inspiring these days. Yeah, that's pretty much nothing against Bollywood though.
No, that's really cool. In the Bollywood too, there's a lot of dancing. They love to do the big dance numbers and stuff, right? Like with the music and all of that. And the movies are so long. Like I've seen a few,
Exactly,
but
exactly.
anytime I'm like scrolling through like Netflix or something and I see one that looks interesting, I'm like, oh, this looks cool. 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm just like, no, I just don't have the time for
Basically, 1 hour and 45 minutes of
yeah,
dancing.
yeah, exactly. If you think, yeah, in the 3 hour, 45 minutes, you will have 1 hour, like you said, instead of dancing and songs. Dude, you can put the songs later on as well. No, like let's let people. I'm here to watch the movie. Can we get this shit over with? Like that
Yeah,
kind
I
of
get
thing.
it. You're frustrated, right?
it
I
should
get
it should
it.
it should give you the option, if you just want the story, like when it gets up, oh, here's like a 10-minute dance number. Would you proceed or skip? And then you can skip it and then continue with the
I would,
story.
yeah, that's why I don't visit theaters these days. I'm watching something, I'm like, okay, now there's a song. I'm like, okay, let's skip. Oh shit,
Oh,
I,
that's
I've
funny.
become kind of frustrated as well in my office as well. I always thought like
We can
Bangalore,
tell.
as much like I'm sure in my office as well, there are so many people and like literally from what I know, I might be wrong here. Bangalore is kind of the metal capital of India. That's what I know. I'm not sure. I may be wrong. In my office, I'm like, hey, dude, have you like heard of heavy metal? Have you heard of bands like Guns N' Roses? I'm like, they're like, what is Guns N' Roses? And I'm like, say that to someone like who's living there and talking about music, and they're like making me listen to. Have you heard Shah Rukh Khan's song? I'm like, nothing against Shah Rukh Khan again. I love him, but then being honest, like, I really hope that people knew this music more than how people know it today in our country.
Yeah, that's fair. That everyone, had more of a wide range of musical taste, that they would listen to, because like you said, there's a time and place. You don't mind the Bollywood music, all that good stuff, but you would like that
Yeah,
people also knew the heavy metal stuff also. So there's more of a
yeah,
mix, a blend.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you guys decided to form up and make a heavy metal band. And, I know you said, Roger, you kind of take point as far as the songwriting, but Scorcher, you are also involved in that. So how did you start writing your own songs? You
I
know,
think we were
what's your
writing.
process? Yeah.
You see, I was writing from a long time. I mean, even before the band started. I mean, we were daydreaming at that point of time. So me and Swaroop, we kept on writing songs at that point of time. Uh, uh, Eventually, Scorcher joined in the writing process. So we have a lot of songs still. They are in my diary or in my notepad or somewhere, you know, laying around somewhere. So yeah, my process, my personal process, it's like, uh I write the lyrics at first, and then I put the melody that goes best with whatever I want to say in the lyrics. However, Scorcher's process is just the opposite one. He thinks about the entire structure of the song, and eventually puts the lyrics in
Yes,
them.
Scorcher
That's
does it
how.
simultaneously.
Yes,
I would give
he does
him
it.
a brownie
Oh,
point
so
for that.
somebody is here. There's a ghost voice that I hear.
No, he's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Uh,
I'm facing some technical difficulties. The power backup is not working. Sorry for that.
Are you
Yeah,
sitting
No
in
so
your
worries.
we no. Yeah, I'm saving my power for playing Rocket League. I'll play in a while now. You guys can join as well. So basically, we all have our different ways of composing. Roger mm, said his ways, and Scorcher does it simultaneously. For me, it's something else. Uh, with the mindset of composing something, I get a writer's wall. I mean, I got stuck in a wall. It's like something is a barrier, not letting me pass through it. So I keep on playing with the ideas I have in my mind. And when I get something, I keep on stacking other ideas. It's almost like playing Jenga. I stack up, I remove, then I stack up, then I remove more parts, then build a tower. So that's how I compose.
Awesome. Really, well, it's cool that all of you guys really kind of contribute to the songwriting. I think that's really important for a band, as a whole, when everyone contributes. I mean, and again, nothing against bands where literally there's one songwriter and everyone else just shows up and plays, what's written. I mean, it is what it is, that everyone's got different styles, but I always think it's really cool when everybody has input, and I think you get a really nice diverse sound, in the music, as far instead of just like one style of sound, you get the collaborative effort. But so you guys started writing, creating songs, and you released your debut album, right?
right.
Realized Fiction.
Fiction. Yes.
Yes. So I bet that was exciting for you. How did you determine what songs would be on this debut album? I mean, this was like your first, um, to the world, your
First
first
studio
message to the
experience.
world. Yeah, like, hey,
Yes.
look at it. This is us.
No, we had to go through a couple of shuffling processes. I mean, there were a couple of songs that we had to discard, and a couple of songs that we had to, a couple of new songs, to be honest, that were written after we decided that we're gonna release the album. So yeah, I mean, initially we thought the songs that we were putting in. I mean, we weren't so sure about how to make an album and everything. So the songs were not so much similar to one another, but uh, at least we wanted to make an album which had the same soundscape, uh, related genres. I mean, uh, since we are a band who likes to experiment a lot, um, experiment with different genres. I mean, why not? We're living in 2023, and we're listening to all kinds of music.
Yes.
Why not experiment with a lot of them, right? So eventually we decided, like, but an album, it's an album, it's a collection of a couple of songs. So a boundary lies there. I mean, you cannot make an album with one glam metal song and another death metal song. You cannot do that, right? So that sounds very absurd. So We had to pick up songs that were closely related to one another, and yeah, that's how it went. Um, it
Yeah,
wasn't big task, but yeah.
yeah, I mean, I bet, choosing all of that and
Hmm.
the album certainly does have a unified sound. And one thing that I found interesting when listening to the album is, it's heavy metal. And a lot of times when you get that heavy metal, with a little bit of a classic heavy metal vibe, you get a lot of up-tempo songs, some real heavy kind of driven, album. But this album's approach, a lot of the songs are very thoughtful, I'd say, in delivery, not as like quick tempo, some more mid to slower tempo kind of atmospheric kind of style, is that just something that you guys wanted to go for, or is that kind of just what came to be, in the songwriting?
It was
'Cause it's a very
a
unique
little bit.
style that you have, yeah.
I think it was a little bit of both, to be honest. I mean, we didn't want to go for a very complex album for the debut. Um, so the first song that we wrote was Bloody Rock and Roll, and we wanted to keep that in the album. It's a fairly simple song. Eventually, the songs that we wrote, I mean, we wrote Dip in Tears, we wrote Zombie, and those were like classic heavy metal, classic rock, hard rock sounding songs. And since we had the base of the soundscape that we wanted to portray, after that it wasn't so tough, because at that point of time we decided that yeah, this should be the soundscape of the album, and let's make the other songs close to these, classic heavy metal, classic rock and roll, but uh, sounding a bit different from each other. And that was the idea. I mean, it was a little bit of both, to be honest.
Cool, yeah, I have to say, Glory Shifted Tides is my favorite song on the
Yeah.
album. I love that song.
It's
Killer.
totally composed by Scorcher. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So my compositions in the album are Hard to Fight, Glory Shift the Tides, then we have Deny. Yeah, those three are the ones I soulfully wrote. Uh, so if you see, like you said, the point of our entire like band is like we want to stick to the sound of old school, like keeping everything classical, like classic rock and roll, but we want to explore everything that has been probably done in that era. Like from what I think it should be, because people generally don't like taking the risk. It's like I want to make music, like if I'm making an album, it shouldn't be like I'm thinking, okay, I'll make a rock and roll album since I'm a rock and roll band. I'm like, I want to put out an album, which again is a bit risky. Usually people don't like to take, but it's like I want to put a song which is like one song is rock and roll, and the other one will be heavy metal, is a power ballad. Again, if I wanna like, if I'm feeling like it, I'll put a thrash metal song as well, which is a big risk, I know, which is a big risk. You shouldn't do that, but I personally want to do that. Being honest, I don't know how it will impact, but since I have a lot of thrash influences as well, so you get the point, right? So if you listen to Turbulence in the album, you probably might think that that song is really different from the other songs. So it's like every song is different, but the motto is classic, old school. So that's we wanna like keep. That is why
Yeah,
I
I mean, the
usually,
creation of heavy metal was,
yeah,
based
yeah,
upon
yeah.
taking risks, right? So
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, without a doubt, yeah. No, that's really cool, and what you want to create is you don't want to just emulate or copy, say, oh, we want to make rock and roll or heavy metal like this
Yeah,
band, and then
yeah,
just copy that sound. Like it has to be you, but with influences, of course, but then
yeah,
at the end, it's you, it's your art,
yeah.
not theirs.
Exactly.
I have often at times tried taking advices from people. Like I sometimes did. I even like if you remember Roger, there was a time when I was telling you, let's make an album in which one song will be like Guns N' Roses kind of thing, and the other song will be like Pantera. So people usually used to give this look like, what is this? But I'm like, I want to do that. Maybe I'll do that someday because
Were you
that's me.
drunk at the point of time?
No, I was
I
not.
don't remember.
Hey, you should. Like
I'm
that.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So I don't know. Like I always want to do it. I don't know what will happen, but like I said,
Hey, you might as well, it's your album, you can definitely have, every song be a different, so if that's what you wanted to do, it would
yeah,
be
I always
wild.
like. Yeah, I like this thing. Like nobody should be able to say, "Hey, they're a rock and roll band. Hey, they're a heavy metal band." It should be like, okay, one song you listen to, you will be like, "Okay, that's heavy metal." The next song, you're like, "What is this? This is rock and roll." The other one, like, this is groove metal. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean
That's funny.
I think that's what the old school bands did. I mean,
Yes,
when
yes,
thrash
right.
metal or glam metal, when these bands when they blew up, I think they were trying to create something new as well at that point of time. If I mean, people haven't listened to thrash metal before thrash metal came into existence, right? So I think that was a new thing. Even heavy metal in general, I mean, people haven't listened to heavy metal or things that were sounding like Judas Priest at that point of time in the 70s. But then again, Judas Priest happened, right? So they were trying to create something new, and that's exactly what we are trying to do because uh, people are like doing the same old thing. I mean, definitely they influenced us a lot,
Yeah.
but then again, their vision should influence us more than their music. Their vision was to create something new, or else Rob Halford would come on the stage and sing a Beatles song, but that won't be Judas Priest, right? So yeah,
That's true.
that's the idea basically.
Yeah, that's cool, and to your point, these different bands that kind of created their own style, that's their legacy. Those are bands that they're remembered, not like, oh, this band is like heavy metal. Oh no, that band sounds like Judas Priest. It's like they're almost like their own genre, these bands, like, oh, this band sounds like Metallica or Judas Priest, because they created these sounds, these styles,
Right.
they weren't copying. So one day someone will be listening to a band and be like, oh, that sounds like the Unofficial Utopia, like, because you guys will have created
I
like
really,
a
I really hope
style.
your words come true.
I,
So-
I,
but which actually reminds me, the band title, the Unofficial Utopia, what's the meaning behind that? How did you come up with that? Because I find it fascinating.
Yeah, I think we were watching a reaction, and I think you got it right. To a very you were very close to it. I mean, it was utopia, but then again, the unofficial part, because utopia cannot be official, right? It has to be unofficial. Whenever you put an official tag to anything, um, hierarchy comes in, authority comes in, and it's the same old system that's basically grinding us right now. See,
Mhm.
all of us were doing our day jobs. We love doing music. We don't like our day jobs, to be very honest. None of us are
I hope your
really
boss isn't
happy.
watching. Yeah.
I'm not mentioning any names, right?
yeah, yeah. Let's not speak about entities here.
Yeah, let's not speak about where we work or whatever
No.
that is.
They don't,
But then again, we don't like the day jobs or anything. We love to do music. But then again, you see the scenario of the world. Uh, it's like, you cannot thrive just by doing music at this point of time. So, um, I think that's how official anything official works out. It grinds you. It's the same old vicious cycle, and that's why the unofficial utopia. Because it's our happy place. It's our place of freedom. It's our place of
yeah,
nobody
it's
judges
our,
Yeah.
you.
it's
It's
our own.
yours, not someone else's. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's ours. Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Yeah, no, I dig it. It's really, really cool. And lyrically, with the album Realized Fiction,
Mhm.
how do you get inspired with the lyrics? Is there a overarching theme of the whole album, or is each song kind of a different story or emotion or feeling?
I think each song has its own kind of story and emotion because they were written in different times. But then again, there was something, I guess, there was this little thing that connected the songs emotionally. I suppose um, something was really, really similar to all those incidents whenever we wrote the songs. I'm guessing. It's all a guesswork, to be honest. But yeah, I guess it's not a concept album or anything. But then again, yeah, that's how it was.
Cool. So do you kind of just get inspired, in the moment based on things going on or how you're feeling, and then that's your lyrical process?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Yes.
Yeah, every song has a different emotion. It was no concept that we were building a story. So it basically got added on and added on like that.
Mhm. Sweet. So now that you've released your debut album, which I love the cover art, by the way, really, really cool. I dig it. Um, who created that? Did you get a third party to create that? Or, I mean, did you give them any ideas?
The basic idea was made by me and Scorcher, to be honest. But then again, we are not that great painters as digital artists. So we had to pitch the idea to someone else. His name is Ronnie Datta. If you're watching this, see, I mentioned your name, right? So yeah. We gave it to him, and he made it. I mean, he brought our ideas to life, and it was really nice. Um, so
Sweet.
the idea was mine and Scorcher's, and we had to, bring in someone else to make it.
Yeah, it's very cool, very eye-catching and very intriguing. You want to know more about it. It's really cool. So now that your debut album has come out, what has been the reception so far?
It was really overwhelming when it came out. People from around the globe, uh, they were really digging it. I mean, they were really listening to the songs, and we could see in our Spotify for artists, where you can see people are listening to your songs, and it's the debut work. It's our debut work. It's really special for us. Even if one person is listening to it, uh,
Right.
it's a huge deal for us. But eventually, we got like 10,000, 15,000 people listening to it from all over the world. I mean, even from people from Germany, I guess they reacted to our songs, and people from Brooklyn and stuff. I mean, we most of our players were from Brooklyn and California, and we were
Really?
like, "Oh, my goodness. I mean, people from the other side of the world are listening to things
Yeah.
that we wrote over here, and that was really special for us. I mean, um, who would have believed, this day would come? But that did inspire us a lot, to be honest. I mean, if that could happen to our debut release, then if we work harder, then what could happen? You would just wonder. That's
Yeah,
how we perceived, basically.
that's awesome. So what's the future hold for the Unofficial Utopia? I know you said there's some songs you guys have already written, right, for another album, similar direction. Are you gonna experiment, Scorcher? Is there gonna be some more experimentation going on in here?
I can almost tell you like my plans are working out fine, just like I already said. The plans I have already like I've tried to, and I think I finally succeeded convincing Roger and the rest of the band. Let's go more brutally.
Oh, nice, nice. Cool. So that's exciting. You guys already got working on a second album. Have you been able to tour or play live yet?
Yeah, we
Uh,
have been playing live uh, in and around our country, and we haven't been on a tour outside the country yet. So yeah, because that's not a very big opportunity over here. I think the exposure is here in the third world countries. Basically, it's not very good. And even while if you want to tour outside, you need a lot of money. I mean,
Yeah,
you cannot be sure that the the organizers out there are going to pay you a huge lot of money that's going to bear all of your expenses, right? So we haven't toured outside the country. We have played in inside the country, around our country. So yeah,
how's that been playing live? Was that exciting?
yeah,
The first time you were playing live and the crowd, what's the feedback from the crowd?
you mean the first
it's
time that
back.
we ever got live? Is it?
That
Yeah,
was
the
back in
first
2017,
time
right?
you guys played live.
That's a different kind of feeling. Like for me, it's like I guess it's the same for everyone. So we didn't expect we'll get that much of love, but to be like to our surprise, it was really good. And I honestly didn't expect that people will like us, but it eventually ended up. We were loved. People really liked us. From that point, we were
Yeah,
like,
it
let's
was.
Let's keep doing it.
2017 Christmas time, and that was it was some Christmas gig, I guess, and
Wow.
and we were stopped by the police
Yeah, I
because we were
remember.
loud.
What?
Yeah, I forgot to say that. Yeah, the last song I remember we were playing, cops were like, get down. Like, okay.
Well, that's
I-
how you know you made it. I mean, that is as metal as you can get when the
Yeah,
cops show up
yeah.
and tell you got to stop and get out of here. I mean, that's heavy metal.
And yeah, we also had some, I don't know if Roger, do you remember that like there was another band
Which one?
like
Oh,
uh,
right, yeah. Just after
so-
some other band was supposed to play, and
yeah,
when the
this was
cops
Bollywood. They were from Bollywood. Okay, and the cops
Bollywood.
didn't let them play.
Oh
And we were like,
wow.
No, the cops actually did let them play, but the audience wasn't there. They went out
yeah,
with us, I
that's
guess.
what I mean. That's what I mean. Correcting.
Wow.
That
That's
was really
wow. That sounds
special.
like quite the experience. Yeah, I mean, that's a great memory, it seems like, for sure.
Yeah.
Sweet. So new album on the way, all that good stuff. The band is continuing to write, really exciting stuff. Is there anything else that you guys specifically wanted to mention or talk about?
Uh, I think to the people who listen to our music, uh, don't expect much from us, don't expect anything from us, because you can get anything. You can basically get anything from us, to be honest. You don't get a
Yeah.
specific thing. You don't get, this is the sound of the unofficial. You can get anything. Today we are doing we are getting influenced from thrash metal. Tomorrow we can go psychedelic as fuck, Nobody knows.
Who knows? We might be doing jazz someday.
Yes, wow.
Ooh.
The only thing I don't think we'll ever get is Bollywood music, right? I don't think Scorcher is going to go for that unless he just leaves the bit. He's like, I'm leaving. Bye, guys. Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm going to put all of the Unofficial Utopia social media stuff, links, all that good stuff in the description down below, folks, so you can go follow them, have a listen to their music if you haven't already. And then, like I said, follow them on socials so you know when they release more music, because they're working on some more music. So now is a good time to follow the band and see what they get up to and all that good stuff. So yeah, go see that description down below. And thank you to you guys once again for taking the time to join me and chat. I just really appreciate it very, very much. So
Yeah, it was a lovely time. It was lovely chatting with you as well.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys. And yeah, thank you everyone out there for watching. And check out the Unofficial Utopia if you haven't already. Go do it now, right now. And I'll catch you.
Check out the Power Metal Ranger.
Oh yes, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Check out Power Metal Ranger. He's great. Thank you for your time as well, man.
Thank you so much. And with that, folks, see y'all next time. Ranger out.